What up, SNM Hit Squad, and welcome back, guys. Here's your boy Sean.
And your girl Mel. Welcome, guys.
Welcome back, guys. All right, so we're fighting the wrong battle. Stephen A. Smith calls out the Carmelo Anthony debate. All right, so before we get into it, guys, go ahead and smash that like button, turn that notification bell so you guys get notified, and also hype this video up.
All right.
Let's see what we got here. All right, here we go.
Austin fell onto Carmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2. Loon, if I'm stabbing you.
Hold, Dr. Umar. Hold, buddy. Hold, buddy.
Whoa, wow. Is he serious?
Is this the debate right here? Let's take it back.
Did he just say
he fell on the knife?
Austin fell on the knife? Wow.
Really?
Okay.
This is what he's thinking on his mind.
He's delusional.
Here we go.
He's delusional.
Austin fell onto Carmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2. Loon, if I'm stabbing you, why am I going halfway with a knife blade that's only 3.5 inches? You fell onto my knife. Regardless, Loon, do you really think those 2 black boys who fell on that white boy's knife?
Time out, bro. I can't do it. I got to get my hair cut. My barber here, Nanny fell on a knife.
No bullshit, man.
There ain't no human being on planet Earth out of 21 witnesses said that he fell on a knife. Carmelo Anthony's defense isn't arguing that he fell on a knife. Nobody's saying that these black people cannot take accountability for nothing. Now the boy done fell on somebody's knife.
Welcome to the special edition of Straight
Dr. Umar has lost all credibility
over the airways of YouTube.
All credibility gone.
Of course, you know my POTUS show is every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over the airways of SiriusXM POTUS Radio. That was Officer Tatum responding to Dr. Umar Johnson, who was talking about what transpired with the whole Carmelo Anthony situation. You know, the kid. He was 17 at the time. He's 19 now. He was recently convicted of first-degree murder based off of, because in April of 2025, he fatally stabbed a fellow high school student, high school athlete, Austin Metcalf, in the chest during an altercation at a track meet in Frisco, Texas. A jury convicted Anthony of murder on June 9th and 10th of this year, rejecting his self-defense claim and sentenced him to 35 years in prison. Now, as we all know, I definitely had my reservations about that sentencing. I remember the case involving Casey Allison, who in May of 2022 was also a Texas high school student and fatally stabbed a classmate, Joe Ramirez, during a confrontation in a Belton high school bathroom. He ultimately was acquitted of murder and manslaughter, but convicted of criminally negligent homicide, where he was sentenced in June of 2025 to a maximum 10 years in prison.
Wow.
So he murdered somebody, he's getting 10 years.
Wow.
Carmelo Anthony murdered somebody, he's getting 35 years. And that discrepancy has a lot of people in an uproar and what have you. Apparently one of those people is Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, listen to what he said there. And let me state this. I respect him. I respect the man. I respect his intelligence. Officer Tatum, I'm not going to emulate you. I'm certainly not going to disrespect Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm not going to call him an idiot or question his intelligence. I will say, however, he's definitely out there with the stuff that he was saying. I heard no evidence of Carmelo Anthony or Austin Metcalf falling into a knife. I heard no evidence of that whatsoever. And there were 21 people, who was considered for the jury. You know, you had your grand jury testimony and all of this other stuff going on. And there was 21 people that were talked to. There were witnesses that were in attendance. Nobody talked about Austin Metcalf falling into a knife. I don't know where that comes from.
Where does that
I don't know where that comes from. And obviously because of how severe the penalty was, 35 years in prison, we're going to take into account history from an historical perspective, from a racist perspective, and we're not going to be uncomfortable with the discrepancy that exists between somebody like Casey Allison compared to a Carmelo Anthony. I got that.
Let's stop it right there because I respect that. Like, how do the time, 35 years and 10 years, and it's almost the same type of crime?
Maybe the evidence were, that maybe the scenario was different. I don't know. Let's just see
Okay.
Let's
yeah,
finish.
let's just keep going.
Let's
but
finish the
I
video
do-
before we
Yeah.
jump to conclusion.
But that doesn't give us a license to then turn around and to just come up with stuff that might have been, as opposed to listening to the evidence that was actually disseminated and making reaching a conclusion based off of that. Carmelo Anthony was quoted as saying to Austin Metcalf, "Put your hands on me and find out what's going to happen." To be clear, he was in a tent because it was raining outside at a track meet. And he was in a visiting team's tent, not his own. And Austin Metcalf was one of the people that walked up to him and said, "Yo, man, you need to go to your own spot. You don't need to be up in here." And according to witnesses and Carmelo Anthony himself, he said, "Put your hands on me and see what's going to happen." According to a coach, in the aftermath of the incident, he walked up to Carmelo Anthony and asked him what happened. And Carmelo Anthony said, "Hey, he put his hands on me, so I stabbed him."
Whoa.
So he told you what he was going to do before he did it. Then he ended up doing it. And now we're hearing all of these conspiracy theorists coming out here talking about this stuff,
Right.
ignoring the evidence. Now, again, Officer Tatum, I'm not going to go your route because we can simply disagree. We don't have to engage in insulting anybody here. You've got people that are emotionally invested because they see a system that they think is inequitable and unequal, and as a result, they react accordingly because yet another black kid is going down with a level of severity that isn't being shared by somebody who isn't black, but comes across as having committed the same crime. Now, there's different circumstances. One involved a fight that both volunteered to confront one another about. One was getting the better of the other. Ultimately, a stabbing took place. A killing occurred. And as a result of that killing, Allison got 10 years in prison because of criminally negligent homicide as opposed to manslaughter or murder. Carmelo Anthony went the route of self-defense through the advice of his lawyers and ultimately ended up being convicted of first-degree murder. As far as I'm concerned, it wasn't a jury of his peers because there was nobody black on the jury.
Right.
I got all of that. Nobody black on the jury. That's not a jury of your peers, even though there's no law that stipulates your peers means that your ethnicity has to be shared. I do understand that.
Okay.
But I think it would be nice if you're going to call it a jury of your peers, that it needs to be some people up there that look a little bit like you.
Respectful.
That shares your pigmentation, your hue, your ethnicity. I think that's fair, in my opinion. But again, no laws were violated in terms of the makeup of that jury. Having said all of that, the reason why this point is relevant right now is because of a very uncomfortable truth. The uncomfortable truth is that, once again, we find ourselves dropping the ball a little bit, dare I say. His lawyer, who was that going to be? Did we do our due diligence? The makeup of the jury, did we do our due diligence? The charges that were ultimately going to be filed against him, what he was indicted for, what he was going to be prosecuted for. Did we have the right people in place to make sure that that wasn't putting Carmelo Anthony at a considerable advantage? Did we do all of those things? Or were we a bit late to the party in that regard?
Yeah.
And considering that one could argue that we were late to the party in that regard, for those who want to support Carmelo Anthony, who want to act like a crime wasn't committed, who want to act like he was completely provoked, instead of bringing up the fact that he had no business having a knife at a track meet,
Right.
instead of acknowledging the fact that he was in no real perceived danger in terms of his life being threatened,
Exactly. Right.
in terms of acknowledging the fact that under no circumstances, based on the evidence of what has happened, did it warrant him stabbing somebody in the chest?
Not at all.
If we're going to sit up there and we're going to ignore those things, here's what we can't ignore. Here's what's unavoidable. People are going to bring this up too. Where's all this noise over what happened in Chicago on Juneteenth?
Okay.
What's the relevancy for that? The relevancy for that is that we're arguing and going off and expressing hell and fury over the conviction of a guy who acknowledged he admitted he committed the crime. Told the police it's not alleged. I did it. Because he put his hands on me, so I did it, according to the reports. We've got people all over the place going off, talking about police officers, talking about the court system, talking about the inequity within our legal system, et cetera, et cetera. But 39 people get shot on Juneteenth. 6 are killed.
Wow.
And we're not hearing anything.
Crickets.
Why is that?
Crickets.
Why is that?
You know why?
Why is that?
My opinion is that black lives don't matter to black people. When it comes to black on black crime, black lives don't matter. You don't see people protesting black on black crime, which happens more often than black and white crime. But you never see black people standing up for the crime happening in our neighborhoods, for the crimes that are happening with our children. You never see black people standing up. Where's the marching? Where's the protest?
Where's the rage?
Where is the rage?
You know, all of the signs and, you know, because just, it don't make sense for 39 people to get shot and 6 killed.
And our lives don't matter when it comes to that.
Now you can hear church mice?
Really? Our lives don't matter when it comes to our own people. But the only time our people go into rage and want to fight and protest,
it has
to be a white person,
police officer, or a white person taking your life,
which means
everybody's ready to stand together.
Absolutely, which means that black people are holding white people to a higher standard and a higher regard than we do our own people.
That just don't make sense.
It's like, hey, if a black person died, hey,
it's all good.
It's all good.
But
we should be holding each other.
We ready to go to war.
Absolutely.
We want to, all this rage.
We should be holding each other to higher standards.
And it's happening in the city of Chicago. You know, this is what's like making the black race just look weak. Just look so weak.
And violent.
And look like a circus. Look like, it's a damn jungle and people just running all around just acting crazy. Come on now. Here we go, guys.
Sad.
It's sad. Here we go.
I bring up Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen, to remind you what Juneteenth is. It's a U.S. holiday that commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. Mm-hmm. That's what Juneteenth is. Juneteenth, June 19th, Emancipation Proclamation, issued by Abraham Lincoln.
Wow.
In January of 1863.
And it took place in 65.
This is what we're talking about. June 19th, 1865, 2 years ago, Union General, reading from here, Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced that enslaved people in Texas were free. This date is what became known as Juneteenth.
They are ashamed.
You know how as black folks, we sit up there and we talk about it's Malcolm X Boulevard, it's Martin Luther King Boulevard, and that's usually where violence takes place. That's what they're saying about Juneteenth right now.
Wow.
39 people shot. 6 killed.
It's so sad. So sick.
And what are we saying?
Sickening.
You got more people arguing about Carmelo Anthony than this.
It's a darn shame.
And I'm not getting into, you know what? It's black on black. Wait a minute. White people kill white people. Hispanics kill Hispanics.
It happens.
The people you live with, the people you live amongst, the people you live around, that's where violence usually take place amongst one another. I know that. I don't care about that. I care about us, our community right now, as it pertains to this subject. What we gonna do, people?
It's in shambles.
I'm talking to black people.
Talking to black
we are
people.
In
Every
shambles.
last one of you guys. Every last one of you guys.
Shambles.
No one is
Barack
saying
Obama
anything.
Had his presidential center opened this past Friday. We all celebrating it. And we got nothing to say about 39 black folks, 39 people rather getting shot, 6 fatally.
Black life don't matter?
How about this? Let me read some numbers to you because I think it's important. It's only right. Chicago, in the year 2024, recorded 580 homicides in that 1 year alone, with black residents accounting for roughly 3/4 to 4/5 of the victims. The racial safety gap remains stark. The University of Chicago Crime Lab reports that in 2025, black Chicagoans had a homicide rate of nearly 40 per 100,000 residents, compared with less than 2 per 100,000 residents for white residents.
Wow.
That means black residents were more than 20 times more likely to be homicide victims.
Wow.
This is sad.
Chicago Public Schools
This is so sad.
directs additional resources to high poverty neighborhoods with operational spending ranging from roughly $19,000 to $22,000 per student. Yet the city continues to lose hundreds of black lives to violence each year. Even after total homicides fell to 416 in the year 2025 from the 580 in 2024, black residents still accounted for the overwhelming majority of victims.
Lord Jesus.
Where's the noise about that?
Where is the noise?
It's not politics. It's not policy. I'm a black man concerned about black people. Because we make up 13% of the population.
13%.
So if we made up 57% of the population, like the white community does, deaths don't affect us numbers-wise the way that it affects the black community.
Exactly.
Since the Hispanic community is the dominant minority in this country, it doesn't affect them numbers-wise compared to the way that it affects us.
13%.
We keep allowing this stuff to go on in the streets of Chicago or St. Louis or anywhere else where it's prevalent. We're going to be a damn endangered species.
We are.
Wow.
Got nothing to say? I'm very sorry about Carmelo Anthony.
This just hurt my heart, right? This is just...
I don't like the fact
This is
that he got
tearing me
35
apart.
years. I really, really don't. Not when I think about Case and Allison. Not when I think about Kyle Rittenhouse. Remember him, August 2020?
See, I said something about Kyle.
During unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's
Right.
17 years old at the time. He shot and killed
Not
2 people
authorized. Not
and
authorized.
wounded a third while claiming self-defense.
No way.
And then in November of 2021, a jury acquitted him on all charges, including homicide and reckless endangerment, finding he acted in self-defense.
Really?
I don't like that discrepancy.
I
Not
don't
one
either,
bit.
Steven.
That's why I mentioned it. Don't like the Trayvon Martin thing. I still remember that from 2012.
That haunts me.
Sanford, Florida. Neighborhood watch volunteer George Zimmerman. Zimmerman fatally shot Trayvon Martin. He was 17 years old, who was unarmed and walking home. After a confrontation, Zimmerman claimed self-defense, got acquitted of second-degree murder and manslaughter. You think I forgot that? I did not.
Preach, brother.
I'm still sitting here saying to you right now, Carmelo Anthony is different than that. He had a knife that he brought to a track meet. Life wasn't in danger.
It's wrong.
And he said, put your hands on me and see what happens. A shove ended up into a killing. Which is why you see the polarization that you're witnessing. Because on one hand, you have somebody like a Dr. Umar Johnson, who, by the way, is highly intelligent, by the way, Officer Tatum. I'm not going to call him names and disrespect a man like that. I just don't understand why he's going this route. But it is fair to show what he had to say in both of these videos and Officer Tatum's response to both of these videos. Play that for us, please.
Let's go.
I want you to see how white supremacy operates behind the scenes. You can't challenge the grand jury, Loon, because you don't even know who they are.
Right.
So the people who decided this 17-year-old would be charged with murder are complete secrets. And you and I both know they all white. Are you with me? So first,
They're not
deal
all
with the
white.
grand jury. Him being charged with murder was a crime in and of itself.
So what do you say
Hold on.
about the
Let
event?
me give you one more. You're moving too fast.
Go ahead.
Hold on. In Texas, if you're 17, you're automatically tried as an adult. Grand jury had no control over that. Are you with me?
Yes.
He was 17. He's automatically tried as an adult, but he doesn't automatically have to be indicted with murder. That could have been aggravated right? Manslaughter.
Right.
There's a whole list of crimes they could have went with.
So you're saying he should have been charged, just not with
Time out. I think he went to Ignorant Black Folk University and got his doctorate degree, honorary. He didn't even study to do that. He got an honorary degree from a fake university where dumb black people go. What do you mean? They had a choice. The grand jury don't try to find charges for you. They have a probable cause statement from law enforcement to the prosecution, and they present it to the grand jury. They're presenting murder to the grand jury. And they're giving the elements of a crime that implicates him on murder charges. The grand jury evaluates the evidence and determines, is this prosecutable? Based on what was explained, they don't just pick charges for you when you just say, Carmelo Anthony got into a fight, and they go, let me see what charge we want to do. Liquor law violation. They don't go like that. Umar Johnson would know that because he's a stewhead.
Austin fell onto Carmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The
Did
cut
you hear
was
his
only
response?
2.
Ooh, like,
Loon, if I'm stabbing you, why am I going halfway with a knife blade that's only 3.5 inches?
He's not counting
you
the
fell
inches.
onto my knife. Regardless, Loon.
I'm sorry.
that is so
Umar.
hard
Like,
to
that just
listen
don't
to
make
Dr.
sense.
Umar say you fell
Like-
onto his knife.
When you stab with force, you're not thinking about the inches. You're thinking about, getting that person off of you.
In order to fall onto someone's knife, Karmelo would have had to have been under him,
Right. I mean,
on the ground, and then he trips and falls.
but that just
like,
don't justify. You're not
How
supposed
can
to
you
have
fall onto
a
someone's
knife
knife?
at a track meet. You didn't belong under the tent. Like, you can't justify this. Everyone's seen the footage. It was a shove and it was a quick jab. Here we go, guys. And now these are guys that are going at it.
This is bananas.
Don't
You
make
really
sense.
think those 2 black boys who fell on that white boy's knife?
Time out, bro. I can't do it. I got to get my hair cut. My barber here fell on a knife. There ain't no human being on planet Earth out of 21 witnesses said that he fell on a knife. Carmelo Anthony's defense isn't arguing that he fell on a knife. Nobody's saying that these black people cannot take accountability for nothing. Now the boy done fell on somebody's knife.
That's the problem right there. You see, ultimately, we got to pick our battles. We got to be better than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What we going to do, got to come together to resolve some of these issues. What's the best way to do it? First order of business is to be real. To be real about the evidence that we're looking at and go from there and pick our fights and pick our battles. It's important to do that. Again, I don't like the idea of Carmelo Anthony being sentenced to 35 years at all. I don't like the makeup of the jury, not having an African-American on it at all. I get it. I understand. And I don't know all of the specifics that went into the jury ultimately being made up of what it was made up of. I'm quite sure that there were blacks that were interviewed and before being placed on the jury, before the decision was made as to who would be placed on the jury and who wasn't. But the point of the matter is that I don't like it. I don't like the look. I don't like the optics because we're here having these questions. But what's inescapable and what's undeniable is that Carmelo Anthony said he put his hands on me, so I stabbed him. He said it's not alleged. I did it.
He confessed.
Confessed to doing so and told people
confessed.
he did so.
He confessed.
Not only that, there were witnesses that saw it happen. Not only that, Austin Metcalf's brother was there. And his brother died right in front of him.
Sheesh.
So when we sit up here and we think about the battles that need to be fought, we got to be mindful of what's worth fighting for and what's not worth fighting for. I'm talking about the merits of the case, not the human being.
Absolutely.
Because all of us are God's children.
Exactly. Killing is wrong.
And my heart goes out to Carmelo Anthony and his family. I wish this didn't happen. I wish that he's not going to spend at least the next 17 years in prison, barring an appeal that's won.
Absolutely.
Wow.
But he killed someone.
He did. He took a life.
And his argument of self-defense in the jury's eyes didn't hold weight. We can try to fight and fight and fight over that. But you know what? If you're going to fight as vigilantly, as diligently over that, how come we not fighting about what's happening in Chicago?
39 people. There we go. There we go.
Why we ain't fighting about that?
Let's keep the same energy.
Why we got the president calling out the governor of Illinois? Why is that? Look at what the president said. Look at what Donald Trump said. Lots of killing going on in Chicago. 22 people shot. That number was wrong. It was more than that. At least 4 people dead. That number was wrong. It was more than that. Why isn't Governor Pritzker calling me for help?
Absolutely.
I can make Chicago a safe city in 1 month, in 1 year. It would be one of the safest. D.C. went from one of the worst to one of the safest cities in the United States. Once again, self-aggrandizement, taking anything that he can to make it about him instead of about the real issue. You understand? Showing that the narcissism has no limits. But that's your president and mine. He is the president of the United States. It's just a damn shame that he's that petty, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't make him wrong. Now, do I believe that the president should go in to put the National Guard into the city against the will of the mayor and against the will of the governor and against the will of the people? Absolutely, positively not. Do I believe, however, that Governor Pritzker should be asking for resources from the federal government, from the president himself, to make sure that the streets of Chicago are safe? Yes, I do. And if I recall correctly, I've had Governor Pritzker on this show, and he acknowledged just as much. He specified it doesn't need to be the National Guard. It needs to be other things, and I get that part, but there is no denying that help is needed. How many times are we going to hear about folks getting killed in the streets of Chicago?
They don't care.
How many times? And if we care about black lives, we need to care about that.
Yes, absolutely.
Something has to be done. Last time I checked, there's a bunch of law-abiding, God-fearing citizens who happen to be black living in the streets of Chicago, on the south side, on the west side, and every place in between. We can't use the word enslavement in an official capacity associated with Juneteenth. But ain't that an element of it? If you are in the streets of Chicago, living in one of these neighborhoods, and you're a parent or a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle, an elder statesman, and it's dangerous for you to walk the streets because you don't know whether or not you're going to get shot.
Crazy. That's unreal.
Is that not
diabolical?
A form of enslavement?
It is.
Because you can't come outside half the time because you're too damn scared.
Absolutely.
I recall seeing black people on national television from Chicago calling for martial law to be invoked, begging for federal assistance. This is before Trump got back in office. This was years ago. What's going to be done about it? What's going to be done about it? And now we're living in a polarized society that we're living in. I'm asking the question. I'm not engaging in condemnation. The criminals, the one who is doing the killings, they're the ones who need to be condemned. I'm not trying to denigrate anybody in the streets of Chicago. God-fearing, law-abiding citizens just trying to make a life for themselves.
Right.
Every time we turn around, there's something going on in Chicago.
It's out of control. It's out of control.
Every time. And the vast majority of victims happen to be black. When we going to speak about that? Same energy, y'all. Don't lose the intensity. Keep the same intensity.
You have to.
We going to fight and fight and fight over a young kid that admitted he killed somebody? And we care crickets when 39 people get shot and 6 get killed in Chicago on Juneteenth?
On Juneteenth.
The disrespect.
You read some of this stuff? Juneteenth holiday came to a violent end on the south side with more than 100 shell casings near 95th and Wentworth, where a drive-by shooting left 14 people injured just after 11 p.m. on Friday. The victims were between 17 and 47 years of age, and that was just one location.
Wow. So it's all over Chicago.
You ain't got nothing to say about that? Nothing to say about that at all. Other people have something to say about it. You can sit up there and get on as delivery, his presentation, his vocabulary. You can say whatever the hell you want to say. How about this cat, Charleston White? I want y'all to listen to this brother.
Okay.
You understand? He's not everybody's cup of tea now. You ain't gonna see him on network television now. You ain't gonna see that. But I want you to listen. Don't pay attention to the presentation. Pay attention to the substance of his words. And exactly what he is saying. Just listen.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Here we go.
You know, we obviously blame the rapper, but we ignore who's behind the rapper. And
Nobody.
it's the white man.
No, you goddamn lie.
No, it's the white man.
No,
for
no,
sure.
no, 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 no.
Everything
no, no,
is
no.
the
Listen,
dang
when you
old
show
white
up to
man.
my record,
I'm sorry.
Everything is
Who
a
is
darn
this guy?
white. I guess, aren't we tired of blaming everything on the white man?
Who was the white man?
Like, does the white man have to wipe our butts too and feed us and spoon like we're babies?
Like, what the hell?
Like, I'm sick of this. Is the white man like?
Can we take
serious.
accountability for anything?
Like, I'm sick of it.
Like, we didn't even hear this interview yet, but it just started off wrong. It's
Oh,
going
my
left
Lord.
already.
I can't.
Because there's no one to blame but yourself. You can't point the finger at no white man, green man, or no black man.
Can you believe he just said that? It's the white man.
It's the white man. What white man?
like, with your killing music, I ain't behind what you wrote.
The white man is for sure.
You wrote them before you got here.
Look, you sound like a slave.
And you just gave $1 million for it.
But you wrote it.
You
But
gave-
listen,
He's not even
I'm
accountable.
a businessman.
For himself.
I ain't got nothing to do with what you wrote. You wrote the lyrics talking about killing your neighbor.
But you didn't tell me, no, this is what
Listen,
you're
brother,
supposed to
I'm
be
a- listen,
writing.
listen,
You
brother,
said, I'm
brother,
going to give you
brother.
$1 million
Brother,
for this.
That
listen,
doesn't matter.
No, I didn't.
With the utmost dollar amount.
No, I didn't. I'm a businessman and I'm about business. Because when you stop rapping this and I get a Nas X and he can rap gay, I'm gonna sign him too. You showed up with these gay killer lyrics, brother. I ain't got nothing to do with what's in your mind and what you want to project. I just know your destruction makes money. You came to provide y'all destruction, and it's gonna benefit me and my family. Why would I turn you down? Do you turn down the pregnant drug addict who's trying to buy crack from you, brother? What about the girl who may look underage and selling?
Wow.
Do you turn her down?
I agree
Look
with
at the
y'all.
guilt in his
Your
eyes.
homeboy's woman who's in a compromised state and you can fuck her and she come to you. Do you turn her down? So you want me to turn you down? And I can make trillions off your ignorance. You're not bringing me nothing positive that I can promote to Disney. I can make you richer than you can ever be if you wrote me some Disney lyrics. Hey, if you just want to be like Nick Cannon, I could make you a star forever.
Absolutely.
But you want to be a star just for a small time, so you
Yeah.
write gangster lyrics because you don't want to live long. Your mind wrote these lyrics. All of that hate that you're professing, I didn't whisper that in your ear. I didn't pick your mother and your father when they made it, and your dad left your mom, to go the chick. I didn't have nothing to do with that guy. Why are you blaming me as a white man? I got a record label, brother. We just want to sell records to your people.
Absolutely.
And if we don't have these records to sell to your people, how will your people make music? Your people don't have record labels. How will they make music if it wasn't for us?
Damn.
There we go.
No,
Oh, man.
there's a
Finally,
whole
something that makes
bunch of
sense.
people expressing that sentiment. And it's not on behalf of white folks or anybody outside of the black community. It's being expressed by black people
Tired. We
who are
tired.
disgusted
I mean,
We
with
are
us picking the
tired.
wrong battles to fight,
this is just terrible.
We tired.
It's tired. It's
facilitating
sad.
and initiating our own demise.
Wow.
Carmelo Anthony had a bright future, had a 3.7 GPA, worked 2 jobs, no criminal record.
Wow.
Of course, you wish that there was some leniency, that the young man wasn't being sentenced to 35 years in prison. But Austin Metcalf is dead.
Gone.
There's no coming back from that.
He had people going off because somebody said, you know, whether it's me or somebody else, he was murdered. Well, okay, fine. He wasn't murdered. He was killed. We didn't say while the case was going on. We said he was murdered because he got convicted of murder. Or his assailant got convicted of murder. Sorry that the proper lingo wasn't used. Austin Metcalf is dead. He was killed. The person convicted of first-degree murder of Austin Metcalf was Carmelo Anthony. And folks are in an uproar because that life has been drastically altered forever. One may have nothing to do with the other in some people's eyes, but to a lot of cynics and skeptics out there who are always looking for a reason, a nugget of proof to look at the black community and get on us for not having our eyes and our energy where it needs to be, they're going to point to Juneteenth in Chicago.
There you
Lord
go.
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. That's what.
And they gonna
that's
say,
all I'm saying.
They said nothing about that.
Nothing.
Nothing about
We're
it.
ready to jump the broom.
You know what else they're going to accuse us of? They're going to accuse us of only caring about black lives being lost when it comes at the hands of somebody outside the black community.
Absolutely. Which means black lives don't matter.
What happens
to black people
when that narrative is fed into and it's allowed to foment and grow? All of a sudden, it hits the legal system. Even more so. And there's an additional mark against us for focusing a lot less on what we should be focused on. My heart goes out to Carmelo Anthony. I don't like the thought of the brother being in jail for at least the next 17 years. But I like even less the fact that Austin Metcalf is never coming home. As is the case with 6 people that were killed on Juneteenth in the streets of Southside Chicago.
that is horrible.
And another 39 injured.
Wow. Wow.
If we gonna talk about it, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the real.
That's all I'm trying to say.
I respect that, Steve.
In fact, it is one of the things we'll be talking about later on this week. Because as has been the case on a weekly basis over the last couple of weeks, I told you as a registered independent, I wanted to get voices from the black community, not just from the black community, but primarily from the black community, on both the right and the left side of the aisle, to come together and debate the issues that are really pertinent to us as American citizens and as black people in the United States of America. They won't be the only ones. I'll bring on white folks. I'll bring on Hispanic folks. I'll bring on stuff as long as you're on the left and the right and you got something to debate. I'm welcoming you to the table to have a discussion so all of us can be enlightened.
Absolutely.
And no question, when I had Theron Johnson out of Atlanta and the one and only Anton Daniels out of Detroit debating just a few hours ago, one of the things that I asked them was about the whole Carmelo Anthony situation, about how the black community is being perceived, etc. There's a lot of things we talked about. There's a lot of things you're going to see. But not to be specific, but just to give you a taste of the flavor that you're going to see posted on my YouTube channel in just a couple of days. Here's a look at Anton Daniels and Theron Johnson.
So what we're seeing with our crime stats is that people in America, and it's not just a black issue, it's everybody, right? That they're de-escalating situations no more with just fighting. They're actually using guns to shoot people. The other thing I would say is this, the issue around crime. We got to give people more access to jobs, right? I believe that people right now are poor, they're hurting, they're hungry, gas prices are out of control. And so they are using these guns and this violence to shoot people. And a lot of them are like turf wars. A lot of these are disagreements about family disagreements, about a partner or a woman or a man. And we're not able to de-escalate that anymore.
They are juking the stats, and they're reducing how they're reallocating how they're classifying crime. A lot of these crimes actually go unreported. These are not issues of people that are having some kind of domestic dispute and then it spirals out of control. These are people that are targeting other people, carjackings, taking them to ATMs and having them remove money, telling them to give you your phone and so they can get your password. These are drive-bys. When 12 people were shot over Juneteenth, right, this past weekend over in Chicago, that was a drive-by, and they had over 113 shell casings on the ground.
What? As I said to you on many occasions, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a place rather for riveting discussion. I'm not trying to take sides. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to edify myself.
Me too.
Be better so I can do better. And contribute to enlightening folks about how they need to be better so they can do better, so we can all do better.
We got to do better.
That's what Straight Shooter is all about. That's what Straight Shooter Media is all about. That's what this show is all about. That's what it's been about, and that's what it's going to continue to be about. Get used to it, because I'm not going anywhere. And hopefully, neither are you.
Absolutely.
Please remember to subscribe to Straight Shooter with yours truly, Stephen A. Smith. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Straight Shooter Media. Please continue to provide the support. Keep the love coming. I'm going to keep on coming.
Will do.
Until next time, everybody, it's Stephen A. signing off.
I respect that, Stephen A. I respect that.
Absolutely.
Wow. So, first of all, sending my condolences to the families that lost 6 people. And while we're on the topic of the Austin Metcalf, we are still sending our condolences to the family.
Absolutely.
But black people, we clearly got a problem.
Yes, we do.
We have a problem. Because any day of the year that this could happen, this happened on a day, June 19th, that the slaves were free. It's supposed to be our celebration, our holiday for the black people. Because we came so far. Our ancestors,
turning over in their graves.
They are so upset right now.
Shame.
People that fought for this country, people that marched, fought for civil rights, and this is the payback that we give them?
Our ancestors were hung in trees, hosed down, beat.
What the hell?
Fed to alligators, sick by dog, bit by, they put the dogs on them.
They had to go through all of that.
Just for them to fight that fight for us
to get to this point.
Terrorize our streets. To kill and to make excuses. No accountability.
No accountability.
To teach our children.
I am so tired of this.
That they can go out here and if someone shoves or gives them a push, they have the right to take out a knife and stab. They have the right to go and shoot up their neighborhoods. Kill other black children.
It makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. And I'm so sick and tired of people pointing a finger at the black man. At the white man. Opposed to pointing the finger at the black man.
There's no accountability.
I don't think no white man came through there and used the pum to shoot up 39 people. That's ridiculous. That is crazy. On Juneteenth. And then people want to start this race war thing.
Don't know which battles to fight.
And the whole time the race is black against black. Ain't that some shit?
15% of the United States
This is
killing
ridiculous.
at record numbers. Like, it's insane.
And where's all this black energy at? Because everybody's ready to go to war for Carmelo Anthony, but we don't even know one name of the 6 people that were killed. Not one name. Out of 39 people, we don't know not one name.
It is sickening.
That is so sad. And it's almost like I'm almost ashamed to be black.
Oh,
like, damn.
Lord. Oh, my Lord.
Because I had to walk out into these establishments. I had to take my family out to Walmart. We go certain places. I don't want people looking at me and my family like that. Just to throw out an example, on Father's Day, we were out eating. Me and my family. And a white guy walked up to me and said, you know what? I watch you and your wife all the time. And we shook hands and we said Happy Father's Day to each other. And it was really, really fast and quick. But just to get the acknowledgement from a white man giving us big ups on our channel means a lot. It's nothing about no race or white or black or this or that. Like, this is just being real, following the law. Certain things that you can't do. You can't take a knife to a track meet and pull it out and take someone's life.
Absolutely.
You can't do that. It's the same way as a damn traffic stop. When it's red, you can't run a damn traffic stop. Something is going to happen. That's the law. You got to stop at the red light.
I think a lot of black people don't realize that we're free. Like, we're no longer slaves.
It's crazy.
You know, our people were freed years ago. Over 100 years ago. We're no longer slaves. We no longer can blame the white man, can blame Massa. I mean, it's sickening. Blaming Massa. Massa did it. It's Massa's fault. Like, get out of that mentality.
People don't know that white people put their life on the line in the Civil War just so black people can be free. But they never talk about that. They never talk about the North and the South in this fight. How the North won and then black people are free. They never talk about the black woman and a white man, I think his name's CP or something like that. He was the leader of the KKK. That had a change of heart just so black and white kids can go to school together. See, these are the things that we need to know so they can stop pointing the finger at the white man. All that racist and biased stuff, like that's over. It's being flushed out.
How can you raise good, children and you're not willing to take accountability for what you teach them, the route that they go, how you raise them, how you bring them up? Like, why even have kids and put evil into them and tell them that, hey, it's the white man's fault that I did this to you?
I am just so frustrated and so sickened. This is 2026. We should be proud of how far we have came and carry that torch and not to go backwards. So all this was for nothing. All the fighting and all that stuff was for nothing? And we still being chopped down?
It's sad because there are so many good black people out here.
It really is.
I mean, I know I know more good black people than bad ones, to be honest. But you can't tell because the media only shows the bad ones.
Exactly.
So it makes everyone afraid to be around black people. It's like, oh, here's the troublemakers.
They just walked in.
Here they come. Oh my gosh. It puts a fear in people. People don't know if they're going to have to defend themselves. They don't know.
People don't know. They already on the defense.
So if we know this, why are we continuing to do these things? To, commit crimes.
It's sad. It's just so sad. We need to be respectful. We don't need to be loud, obnoxious. We don't need to be rude. Because it's people out here that's looking like, okay, give me a reason. So be on your best behavior. Why not be on your best behavior? And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for the ancestors, the people that fought, man. That bled out in the streets.
They fought.
People that prayed. People that marched.
The percentage of black people in America is so small. And I'm thinking that back then it was even smaller. So all of those black people who fought, they went into the wars and fought with no guns and won.
Black and white.
They had messed up guns and, they had the worst of equipment.
Buffalo soldiers.
And came back and won.
Buffalo soldiers.
That is the blood that runs through your veins. Why would we, as a people, dishonor our ancestors? Why would we not stand proud and show love to each other?
Absolutely. And that's the reason why
peace
we will use our platform to spread love, peace, happiness, and joy, and to be that example of good black people, respectful, and know how to act, man. 39 people in one day on June 19th, it's crazy to me.
That's horrifying.
But,
that's horrifying.
It's terrible. Now it's like, it's
and there's nothing being said about it. Crickets.
Like, if we want to go to a Chicago basketball game, that's not the city that we want to go to. Dang, we can't even,
let alone Obama's museum.
Just opened up.
I wouldn't be caught in Chicago.
I don't want to go nowhere near there. Because things might start flying. That's crazy. People that don't even have anything to do with a game. Nothing to do with the war that's going on. And you can't walk down the street peacefully. What world are we living in? And it just hurts me to my heart to know that in 2026, this is still going on.
And you know what? I gotta say this. I still have hope for black people. I am black and I'm proud. I love being black. I'm just disappointed. I am so hurt. I am so hurt to see more black people killing, going into the ground, going into the jail system. It is so hurtful.
Sad.
We're raising black women and black men.
Sad. It's sad. Just the shade of your skin color can really, set off alarms. That's just sad. That's sad. That's really sad. If black people walk in now, people clutching their pocketbooks, they ready to go. I don't want to, that type of stuff.
It's painful.
It's sad.
It's so painful.
It's sad. But there it is, guys. We wanted to, just to follow the story. Big ups to Stephen A. Smith. I think he did a good job. Black people don't need to be at odds on these topics. I think we need to just look at the clear picture.
And we need to conversate. We need the conversation.
And just, figure it out. Because it's still hope. It's still hope.
I will never lose hope in black people. Hope.
If you got faith,
proud.
You got hope.
Very proud.
I just don't want to be in a category where as though people don't even know my character and already, saying that, oh, here we go. It makes me feel uncomfortable, so.
It's so sad.
There it is, guys. Go ahead and smash that like button and give this video a big fat thumbs up. And also get inside the comment section. We're going to follow this story and continue to voice our opinion and use our platform for the very best.
Absolutely.
Right? We about here, guys. Peace, love, and blessings to all. All right?
Absolutely.
We about here. Peace.